Hey, so today I'm going to be doing a review on the CR6 SE. I've had this printer for nearly 2 weeks and it's been excellent. I know this printer had a dodgy start with its Kickstarter campaign and there being some pretty major faults with some people's units. But it's been about a year since it released and most of those faults have been kind of addressed. So you might be asking yourself, why would I bother buying this printer over an Ender 3 or Ender 3 V2, which didn't come with any of those problems out of the gate? Well, to be honest with you, if most of those issues are resolved now, well, seems to be so far. This printer has ABL, has a new extruder, filament runout sensor, dual Z lead screws, all that stuff, which the Ender 3 doesn't have. Sure, you're paying a bit more of a premium for it, but I think it's a better printer if you're a beginner, because the Ender 3, especially the V2, all the mods I had to do to mine to get to a really good level and to where it works reliably. So you can pick this printer up for about 380 quid online on Amazon. I'm pretty sure you can get it for cheaper on Coraldy's website and places like that. Banggood maybe might even be cheaper as well. But it's a pretty good printer for what it comes with. Some of the features I honestly thought were gimmicks, but now that I've used them, they're actually quite good. So the ABL works in a grid system. So you can see here, it has 16 points. So it taps the nozzle twice on each one of those points. And you can see they're just running through it. And this is the stock firmware. I have upgraded the firmware to the community firmware recently. But this is just stock firmware. Stock firmware is okay. It's not great. But you can see here in this video, the nozzle just comes down, probes the bed, and it just, rather than doing what the BL Touch does, where the BL Touch has a little stem, this uses the tip of the nozzle. Now that can cause some problems, because if you get leakage, oozing from the nozzle, and then it taps, it can set off the ABL a little too high, which can be some bit of a problem. You kind of have to clean the nozzle before you do an auto level. To be fair though, once you do the level, it kind of stays homed in. After I did it the first time, I had no reason to do it a second time. So that's a plus, I guess. And to get this kind of innovation, which I think it is, especially how it works, that it's kind of on an arm, and the whole hot end moves. It's pretty cool. Here you can see the dual lead screws, the new extruder, and the filament runout sensor. I think dual lead screws are actually a massive help, especially from my Ender 3 V2, which I find it quite hard to keep it level the whole time. I find I have to do it way more often than I do on the CR6. Here's the new extruder, a little handle there for taking off the pressure off the filament. And you can, by the way, make sure to close it, because I always forget. Comes with this handle as well, carrying handle. This is one of the things I thought was just a gimmick. I thought this was why does this exist? But to be honest, it's actually really helpful. It's coming so handy. I thought it would just be, oh cool, carrying handle, never actually gonna use that. But now that I realize, using it the whole time and moving it around, I use it all the time. There's an optical Z-stop rather than a limit switch. So you can see that piece of metal sticking down, that goes into the optical sensor and triggers it. I've never seen this before, but I only have Enders, so that's probably why. But it's pretty cool, does the job. I don't know what the benefits are. I should probably Google that, but it seems to be accurate for what it does. There's the filament runout sensor. Haven't had much use for this. I mainly print small stuff, so small parts, so no real use for that so far. Yeah, so that's the CR6 SE. It also comes with an LED that brightens up around the nozzle. I don't know how much use you'll have for that. I tend to print in a bright room, so I've never had any use for it. Another thing I've noticed as well, PETG does not stick well to this printer. Hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.